We're finally in a timeline where MSD negate. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new here. I'm Don and today we'll be taking a look at Radiant Typhoon Maliss. Alright, so initially I was supposed to cover Radiant Typhoon Necros, which I was introduced to in the Necros Discord by Miss Matcher. It was a really interesting concept, to be honest. Really like it. It adds a few interesting stuff to the Necros deck, and if you want to like try something new, then it's pretty good to test out. However, while testing it, I realized that the Radiant Typhoon deck is really good as a level 3 engine, and it makes it so easy to bridge into a lot of other archetypes. For example, 6 Samurais in Genesis because they have the MX Saber, the Goblin Bikers, or Maliss. And that's the focus of today, Maliss Radiant Typhoon. Let's get into it. As per usual, let's take a look at the cards that we'll be using. The first one would be the Radiant Typhoon Eldam, and its effect states, if you have a MSD in your graveyard or your opponent controls no spell or trap cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. This effect carries over to all of the other level 3 Radiant Typhoon monsters, so we won't be repeating that. The important effect would be the unsummon effect. So for Eldam, unsummon, you can add a Radiant Typhoon monster or MSD from your deck to your hand, which pretty much most of the deck adds MSD, so we can also skip out that as well. And the monster that you will be adding would be the Swen, and on summon it adds you a Radiant Typhoon spell or trap card, and the card that it will be adding will be Radiant Typhoon Chant, which has 2 very simple effects. On a quick play spell, it adds you a level 4 or lower Radiant Typhoon monster from your deck to your hand, or you can add a MSD from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if you don't know what MSD is, it's Mystical Space Typhoon. It's a quick play spell that allows you to target a spell or trap card on the field, then destroy it. It's as simple as that. Now for the final card that you'll be using in the engine, which you'd usually play it at 1, and that will be the Megala. You're not really planning to use its effect because its effect locks you, but if you're interested, if you activate a Radiant Typhoon quick play spell or MSD, you can special summon 1 Radiant Typhoon monster from your deck with a different name than monsters you control, and then you're locked into summoning wind monsters for the rest of your turn. So that's not coming up in a Maliss deck. Maybe in Ritual Beast, maybe. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the introduction to the cards if you're not familiar with them. Let's get into the demonstration. Here it is, the demonstration. It really isn't anything too complex. If you start with Eldam, then you just go the standard line. And if you start with Swen, then you'd pretty much just go the reverse line. Other than that, you'd most likely be opening your Maliss engine. And that's pretty much how you get to your Maliss cards. Turbini sends any one of your Maliss level 3s, and then you get an additional monster to summon to make Lizardos. Alright, just because it's a 1-card combo, we'd have to discard the March here, but you can easily get it back, seeing that we'll be going into the White Binder. And even if we get nibbed at any point in time here, the fact that we have the Wizard in hand, we can just go into something like a Link Spider, then reborn, like let's say our March here. If they have something to like stop it, like a Bestial, then you know the March here will trigger, then you can just use its effect in the hand to summon itself by banishing a Maliss card from your graveyard. Alright, so this isn't like something you should look at and study religiously. It's just like a straightforward line that you might go to if you're playing this sort of engine with the Maliss deck. So let's take a look at the reverse line with the Swen. Alright, so if you've made it this far in the video, remember you can leave a like, that'll be appreciated. And if you want to see more videos from me, you can check out my channel. Then if you want to see more videos from me in the future, you can subscribe to the channel. And with that, let's get back into the video. Alright, so this would be the Swen line. As I said, it's pretty much the reverse. So you'd be adding the spell, and then the spell will be adding the Eldam. And then Eldam will add you the Megala. And something to note, like if you fear Droll, this is the anti-Droll line because you're adding the quick play spell. So if it's a case where they would say like Droll, you can just activate the quick play spell to add the Eldam, and at least you get to level 3s to go into the Shirabini, and then you can just normal summon any Ant Trap to make the Lizardos, and you're completely fine. It's just that you won't be able to go into like lines that will add you the backup and all that, but you still get at least 2 trap cards to be set. And you have an identical feel as the previous combo. There's really nothing much to say other than the fact that Maliss is an FTK. Like literally, you have like a Bunks 3, a Omni-Negate that banishes, and then you have like multiple banishes in your turn because you have the Cryptor in the grave. You can set the MPT, and you still have like 4 other cards in hand. It's just crazy work. And since you're already here, might as well I just show you a sample deck list. This is pretty much what I've been testing it with, and so far I haven't experienced any issues. For the hand traps, you can just adjust it to however your locals is. Like for example, Drows can be like swapped out for the Fuwas, but seeing that Mitsurugi has been a thing for a while now, like I don't think the few draws that you get can compare to the Drow just completely ending their turn. Along with the fact that like with the rise of Dracotail due to the banning of Dimensional Fissure, like you really need something like Effective Healer because that Arthalion is too strong. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time.